cracking, everybody? Like I always say, new video. All right, so I mentioned it in my live, right, that I was gonna be putting this video out. I'm putting this video out because I'm listening to my lady, right? So my lady, I've told her this story, and she felt like it would be impactful. I don't like to tell these type of stories, like I said in my live the other day, because I don't like to paint my dad in a negative light. My dad's still alive, my mom's not. But, let me tell the story and let's see how impactful it is. So when I was a little kid, when my mom and dad were still together, it was an extremely violent house. My mom and dad were selling coke and weed. They were getting high, drinking, partying. They were both real young, right? They both had jobs, and it's a trip because I always think back to that. Like, they were selling drugs. They both had good jobs, but we were always poor. We didn't have food in the cupboard. The refrigerator it was weird, eh? But that's because their thing was just selling, to recop, to party, and just that was the cycle. You know what I mean? Party, recop, party, get high. That was their thing. So what I used to do in the mornings, before my mom and dad would go to work, I would sneak into my mom's purse and I would steal $1, or I would steal like 50 cents, and I would go buy a honey bun or something so I'd have something to eat in the morning, or maybe I would buy some candies or whatever it was, right? Well, one morning I woke up, and I didn't have my own bedroom till I was 13, right? So I always slept on the living room couch. But one morning I woke up, and I remember when I woke up, my mom was on the floor in the living room, out. And I was like, what the hell is she doing there? But anyway, so I did my little routine. I went over and I opened her purse a little bit, whoop, and then I took off, walking around the house. Then I came to see if she's awake, you know what I mean? Then I popped her purse open and took off. Then I went back and I remember I opened it up, right? And it was packed. And I was going through the bills. There was no coins. So I was going through the bills, and it was 20s, 50s, and 100s. It was just big stuff, right? And I remember seeing it, and it was like, fuck, and this was probably like 1981, 1982. So $20 was a lot of money back then. So that's what I took. I took a 20, right? And back then, my dad's from the east side, and we lived across the street from those of you from Santa Barbara. We lived across the street from Franklin School on the library side. So I went out of the house, and as soon as I got across the street, I was scared. I was like, this is too much money. I was thinking how many candies I could get and all that, but I was scared, right? But I was a little conniving ass kid, so I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. So I reached into my pocket, I pulled out the 20, and I balled it up in my hand. And I shoved my hand in the bush that was in the parking lot. And I opened my hand and let the $20 bill go in the bush. Because I was thinking, if my mom notices the $20 missing, she's going to call the teachers. They're going to want to check my pockets. So I'll just come back after school and get it, right? That was my big plan. So I go to school, everything's, what it is. And after school, I said, you know what? I'm not even going to get it. I'm going to go home first, because that's how smart I thought I was. I'm going to go home first, and then I'll double back. And so I go in the house, and I go in my mom and dad's room, because I hear a noise, right? And I go in there, and my mom was on her hands and knees, and she was like in a panic, and she was throwing shit around on her hands and knees looking for something. And she kept saying, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. And I was like, the hell? And I go, and I like reached out to my mom and I go, Mom, what's wrong? And my mom turned around and looked at me and her fucking face was all busted up, bleeding and busted up. And she said, I lost $20 and your dad's gonna fucking kill me for it. And my heart fucking just dropped. And I was afraid because my dad used to beat my mom so bad and they both used to beat me that I knew, you know, like my dad might actually kill her for $20. And I went outside, man. I went across the street. And I was in that bush probably till 10 o'clock at night. And I never fucking found the money. And I wish I could say that I never stole after that day. I never stole from my mom. Never went into her purse. She got the dog shit beat out of her that whole night for $20 that I took. But I will say that I've never liked to steal. I stole, it's no justification for thieving. I was doing burglaries when I was on the run. When I had escaped from camp, you can't go get a job, you know what I mean? So you criming it. So I was doing burglaries. But, you know, and it's weird. It's no justification. I did burglaries, and then when I had enough shit where I knew I had enough to sell for a little while, I wouldn't steal nothing no more. And I would actually argue with my homeboys that wanted to continue to go out and do burglaries because there was a little ring of us. I don't know. I tell you, you know, I mean, put yourself in my shoes. I was like 6 or 7 years old, man. And I stole $20 from my mom and almost saw her get killed over it. You know, it's a terrible thing. So, and you got kids that have sticky fingers, tell them the story, show them this video, man. You know, there's serious repercussions to when you steal something. You don't know how it could affect somebody else. It could cost them somebody their job. It can cost somebody their life. That was the environment I grew up in. And that's the environment that I formed a lot of real fucked up beliefs about the world, man. You know, so those of you that got kids, man, try to make sure you show love in the house. You know, even you and your old lady or you and your old man get in an argument, do that shit in private. Don't do it in front of the kids. Hopefully this story was cool for you guys, man. With that, I'm out.